came out these days about sanitation and how important sanitation is. Everybody knows that, obviously. In Economist and even also New York Times, they try to quote Manusmriti saying that there is some words there that will dictate us to go out of house for the toilet, etc. Do you want to comment on? I know it might be really
no problem,
obviously.
No problem. Any question should be taken with all seriousness. The seeker is earnest. I am fully confident about your earnesty. Well, Manusmriti or any work for that matter, it's also product of a time. In those days, we didn't had flush out toilets like this. And so one has to go out. And in those days, population was less. And no rivers were bound by the dams and other things. And rivers were flowing freely with full of water. The topography and whole geography of India, in that sense, the rest of the world also, it was something different. No problem of global warming, nothing was there. Then, forest was a big challenge. Now, deforestation is a big challenge. So, situations are different, at least in the Westy level, in the isolated level. Manu, for that sense, he would have said, has said of course, but we shouldn't forget, in the Harappan, Mohenjo-daro, Janudaro, Dhoolabira and such places of archaeological interest, we do find underground drainages, and even every home having its own closet, something like that. Every such thing was provided. But if that is taken as an exception and generally going out in the nature for the nature call as the order, as even today in some of the parts of the India it is found so, is it acceptable? Well, if the surroundings are not polluted, in a small habitation, it is welcoming. People who go for trekking in the remote corners of Himalaya, they cannot expect a flush out commode everywhere. They have to go in the nature. But what is said by Manu is far more important in the other sense. Even in the Vedas it is said, Napsu Mutram Purisham Kuryan Navanishti Vet, like that. One should not pollute water with the fecal matters. We should not pollute water with all our rejections. Now, we are not polluting water by going to nature call on the backs of the rivers, but all our drainage system and the excreta and even the outlets of all the polluting, poisonous industrial pollutions and industrial waste are all left to the rivers. The real arteries of our life. And what amount of pollution is going on? In a bigger way, it's all going on. So we have to check for that means. Reducing our needs is the only, no other way. And in that sense, generally, we have an index, how much a country uses, to that extent it is prosperous like that. I remember my school day chemistry line. That country which uses maximum amount of sulfur products is the richest country, and that is this country, like that. That used to be written so. But Bhartrari says, Satubhavati Daridro Yasya Trishna Vishala. He who has more desires, he is a poor man, he is the poorest. Because when I am hungry to the extent of consuming 8 chapati means I am poor. Well, somebody is hungry with for 2 chapatis, he is richer than by 6 chapatis than me. To that extent, I have to see the concept of poverty and prosperity. That's so. Any isolated line from such a classical text like Manusmriti and Dal should be treated in a bigger context and background. If not, you will be having all the problem of wrongly interpreting it, either discarding it or blindly accepting it. For that matter, our smritis are not absolute in nature. Kritetu manavah prokta tretayam shankalikto dwapare yajnavalkyascha kalo parashara smritaha, it is said. Manusmriti was applied in the fullest form in Krita Yuga, And in Treta Yuga, it was the Smriti of Shankha and Likita, and in Dwapara, Yajnavalkya, and in the Kali, Parashara, like that. Kale Kale Navacharaha Navavani Mukhe Mukhe, it is said so. And even there are 9 commentators available on Manusmriti. Every commentator updates. While Manu says, those who are going out of India and perform the rituals may not be getting the real fruits of those rituals. Then Vedatiti, one of the oldest commentators of Manusmriti, says no. People who are pious enough and good enough and cultured enough, if they migrate to some other country and if they establish colonies and perform there, even there the rituals bear fruits. So, people who are settling here and worshipping and performing all these rituals are bound to get fruits. And even Krishna has himself assured, like that. Why I am saying this? Unlike in Islam or in Christianity, no updation was made. Timely corrections and additions were made. In Sanatana Dharma, often and often corrections and additions and deletions were all made. Some things were deleted as Kalivarja, like that. So, it's a dynamic society, it's a dynamic culture. And so, we have to see in all the dynamics, not as a static entity. Please.
So, I